Now let's talk about the Prince of Vaccines. At least that's what the Western media like to call him, Mr. Adar Poonawalla, the CEO of Serum Institute of India. They're the largest vaccine makers in the world. And if you've read fairy tales, you'll probably know one thing about princes. They can be cunning and evil, or charming and benevolent. So which one is Adar Poonawalla? After all, this is the man who India is betting on. It only seems fair that we know his backstory and his intentions. Poonawalla was born into pharma royalty. His father Cyrus founded the Serum Institute in the year 1966. By the time Adar Poonawalla joined the business, the company was exporting to 35 countries. This was back in 2001. And since then, this company has captured the global market. Today, it exports to 140 countries around the world. Adar Poonawalla himself is a board member of Gavi, that is the Global Vaccine Alliance. And despite this, he wasn't exactly a household name in India. But that changed with the Wuhan virus pandemic. The world needed vaccines, and the Serum Institute had the tools. But Adar Poonawalla's honeymoon period is over. He's sinking under the backlog of orders. Amid the deadly second wave and dire shortages, the vaccine prince fled India. He is in London right now with his family. He opened up to a British daily, and some of the things he talked about are truly worrying. Top of the list are threats. Adar Poonawalla is supposedly getting serious threats. From whom? He says chief ministers, business heads, and some of India's most powerful people, no names given. Here's a snippet of what he said, and I'm quoting. They're saying, if you do not give us the vaccine, it's not going to be good. It's not foul language, it's the tone. It's the implication of what they might do if I do not comply. So that could be one reason why he left for London. But there's no denying the bad optics. Last week, the government of India gave him Y-class security, so 4 to 5 commandos will flank him wherever he travels. And that should solve the security issue, or so we would imagine. But what about the vaccine targets? What did Adar Poonawalla say about the targets? The shortages, he says, will most likely continue until July, and that's not good news for India. So what is the Serum Institute doing to step up capacity? Well, that's another reason why Mr. Poonawalla is in London. He is talking about new production plants abroad. The UK is being pitched as a possible destination, but India's needs are immediate. New plants abroad will likely take months to be in production. So India's hopes lie with the Serum Institute's Pune plant in the state of Maharashtra. Adar Poonawalla is expected to return there in a few days. In the meanwhile, he says production is still underway in full swing, but his tone does not inspire confidence. Let me show you another excerpt from the interview. And I'm quoting, "I'm staying here for an extended time because I do not want to go back to that situation. Everything falls on my shoulders, but I cannot do it alone." Then he goes on to say, "The level of expectation and aggression is really unprecedented. It's overwhelming. Everyone feels they should get the vaccine. They cannot understand why anyone else should get it before them." This is a man who is wilting under pressure. So it's time we ask the big question, did India bet on the wrong man? And how big was this bet? Let me give you some numbers. Back in the month of March, the government of India placed an order for 10 crore doses of Covishield, the AstraZeneca vaccine. That's 100 million shots, 10 crore. This was at the cost of more than 1,500 crore rupees, 1500. That was the first order. But soon we realized that we need more shots. So Adar Poonawalla requested government funding. And this too was granted. The Serum Institute got 3,000 crore rupees from the central government. And now we have confirmation of a second order. This is for 11 crore doses of Covishield at a cost of more than 1,700 crore rupees, 1,700 crores. These doses are for the months of May, June and July. We did the math here. India has pumped nearly 6,200 crore rupees into the Serum Institute, almost half of it as grants. But Adar Poonawalla says shortages will continue until the month of July. The fact is, he promised a lot, not just to India, but to the whole world. He is obligated to deliver 100 million doses to the COVAX initiative. Guess how many has he delivered so far? 18 million. If you raise the bar so high, you should also be prepared for a big backlash. And some of his comments have not helped either. Look at this tweet, for instance. He recently announced a cut in Covisshield's rate in India. Instead of 400 rupees per shot, states could now acquire it at 300, and he called it a philanthropic gesture. Well, it was anything but philanthropy. It was a readjustment of profit margins. He cut some of his own profits. And in the middle of a deadly pandemic, that is basic decency, nothing to boast about. Amid all the bad press, Adar Poonawalla is on damage control mode now. He's trying to twist his words from the interview. So what's he saying now? Number one, he says expanding capacity cannot be done overnight. Number two, he says it is not easy to vaccinate a country as big as India. We already know these things. So did Adar Poonawalla. Then why did he overcommit and overpromise? And now that he has failed, why is he playing the victim card? So coming back to our question, how do we judge this man? Is he profiteering from the pandemic? Of course he is. Every pharma company is. But is he also a victim of the system? Not quite. The threats to him and his family are unacceptable. No two ways about it. But ask any celebrity CEO and they'll tell you the same story, unfortunately. Serum's website says 65% of all children in the world have gotten at least one serum jab. That's massive market dominance. In normal times, such companies streamline matters for governments, easy one-on-one dealings. But when there's a supply crunch, like right now, these companies cannot keep up. So the vaccine prince stumbled, and he's taking India along with him. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.